Okay. So what you see here is the starting screen. All right. Um, this area that you see on the right is chalkboard animation. It can be used for daily specials, any other information, some motivational things for your employees. Also, there's a tagline available. Um, you know, we can place anything up here that you need, usually your business name, things to that nature. Okay. So this, I'm going to show you how quickly it is to place an order. It's probably going to be about 5 steps or 5 clicks. Okay, so I'm going to go into Order Now. And what you see here are my screen categories and my menu items and modifiers. Okay, so I'm going to first go to a medium pizza and add pepperoni. And I am going to send it to the kitchen. And it's gone. Actually, I think that was about 4 clicks, 4 steps. Okay, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to go into Order Now. Going to order a large pizza with ham. Going to go into a salad. And what you see here is it's forcing me to make an entry for a salad. It's, you know, I can't get by this screen. It helps your servers remember to let the kitchen know what dressing to put on the salad. Okay? And let's just order a drink. Can of Pepsi. And we're done. Gone to the kitchen. Okay. Pretty simple. And quick. Now, the next thing I want to show you is I want to talk about 2 things. Cash and carry versus pickup. Of course, the difference between cash and carry and pickup is the telephone. Cash and carry or carry out means someone comes in off the street, walks up to the counter, says, I want to place an order for a large pizza, and they pay for their item and they take it home with them. Pickup, of course, is when somebody calls in and says, I'm placing an order for a pickup, large pizza, I'm going to pick that up. When will that be ready? Okay? So when somebody walks into the store for a cash and carry, we're going to go into Order Now. Okay? So I'm going to create a check with some toppings. Okay? And I'm going to talk a little bit about the payment button. Found down here in the lower part of the screen, lower right. Okay. If they're paying with the credit card, this is where you go. Okay? You can enter the credit card number, the information that's required, a tip amount if necessary. You can use if it's cash, you can use the whole dollar amounts, the rounded up amounts, or the exact amount. If there's any type of employee meal or a manager discount or a comp meal, you would find those under More Types. Okay? And also, this is where we would take a gift card. Okay. That is a quick scenario of the payment screen. Okay, now I want to go out to the main screen. Let me just get rid of this ticket. I'll get rid of that. Okay. Now we're back out on the main screen. And I'm now concentrating on the area on the left. What that is, that's your caller ID coming in. The caller ID colors change after a certain amount of minutes without being picked up. So you see I have 3 different ones here. If there's an order already in for the day for a certain customer, it will be noted on the top of the button like you see here on this John Adams button. Okay? Okay, let's go into a more complex order. So I'm going to pick up one of these individuals. Let's do John Adams here since he's been waiting the longest. Oh, no, I don't want to do that one. I do apologize. Let me get out of there. Okay, hold on a second. Bear with me. All right. Okay, so let's do John Calhoun. Okay. I am going to take an order, And let's do a large pizza, pepperoni. Let's do a salad. And we'll do a drink, do a can of Diet Pepsi. Okay? All right, and then we're going to send it to the kitchen. All right, we're just going to hit the delivery button. We'll talk about those buttons in just a moment. Okay. All right, I'm going to do another caller ID. So let's do John Tyler. And I'm going to now go into the address area so I can talk a little bit about the customer information area. All right, so I'm going to hit this button, the address button. Okay. If it's a new customer, the name off of the caller ID will populate the name screen. Okay? The streets will build as you add new ones. The city, state, and zip are the city, state, and zip are pre-programmed. If I touch this address, I will see a number of zip codes in my area. Okay? All right. Also, take notice to the top of the screen here where it says Customer Sense. This gives you a breakdown of the first time they ordered, the last order date that they made, the orders to date. This gentleman had none. And, of course, the average check. Okay? Also, there's a Customer Credits button you can indicate. Okay? And the distance from the store to the customer's location. It's also a means of address verification. If it can't find the address, you'll get an NA in here. Okay? So I'm just going to go into Take Order. I'm going to say, yes, we're going to continue. And let's just do I'm concentrating so much on the pizzas today. Large pizza with a salad again and a drink. Okay, and I'm going to send it to the kitchen. All right. Okay, now I want to take an order using the phone button so that I can show you that the system does allow you to store numerous addresses, numerous phone numbers for one customer record. So I'm going to go into phone, and I have a phone number already created. Okay, so this is exactly what I was talking about. We have one customer record, but we have multiple addresses. Okay? Okay, now that you have the basics down, let's talk a little bit more about what we can do with ticket handling. I'm just going to exit out of here, exit. Okay, now I'm back at my main screen. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go into the Order Now button, and I am going to create a large pizza. Let's just put a couple toppings on it. And I'm going to do a couple subs. And let's do some grinders. Okay, I have a number of things on my ticket. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to change the large pizza to a medium pizza. So in order to do that, I just highlight the item, and I get a new set of buttons in the middle here. That's what I'm going to be concentrating on. Okay? So I'm going to change this large pizza to a medium pizza. Take notice, please, that the price will change after I do that. Okay? To repeat what I've done, I'm going to change the medium now to a large. Okay. All right. I am going to, let's say, I have too many things on my ticket here, but let's say I want to change this meatball sub. Let's say the customer wants to order 3. So I'm highlighting the meatball sub, and I'm going to change the quantity. And I'm going to change it to 3. And done. Okay, it changed the price, and it put the total quantity on there. Okay? If I want to remove an item from a ticket, let's say I want to get rid of the chicken parm grinder and the cheesesteak grinder. So let's just highlight the chicken parm grinder and remove item. Same with the cheesesteak, remove item. Okay? You have another button available called Comments. It is free-form text, plus you can add a charge to it. So let's do Add Pickles. I would suggest, however, if you do have items that you find common, that you're using quite often. This slows you down a bit, so I would suggest that you would create a menu button for that. Okay, anyway, it is available if you need to use it. Oh, and also, let's remove that. If it's a negative amount that you enter, let's just say dollar off. And I enter a negative amount. It does ask for a manager password. Okay? All right. I'm going to send this to the kitchen. And before I do that, I'm going to talk about this screen as well. Okay. These are what you see here, these are your various service types. There's a lot listed here because this is a demonstration, for demonstration purposes. These can be specific to your location. Okay? Also, there's a quick payment button here, pay with credit or gift card. If, a customer pays with their credit card over the phone. Okay? Also, there's a ready time and deferred order button here. Ready time, of course, is same day, different time, later today. And delayed order or defer order is a different day, different time, next month at a certain time. Okay? All right, so I'm just going to finish this out. Let's just send it to the kitchen so we can get rid of this ticket. Okay. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is for when one person is ordering for many. Like, for example, when an administrator or administrative assistant at a business is ordering for 10 different people. Okay, so I'm going to set that up. I'm going to go into Order Now, and I'm going to first do a salad with my dressing. Okay, and I'm going to split the check. And I'm going to call this person A. Okay. And I'm going to add something else, do a cheese grinder, and let's say a drink. Here, let's do a can of Pepsi. And this I'm going to call person B. And I will do another individual, okay, and a drink with a fountain soda. And I'll call this person C. Okay. Now I have 3 people on this ticket. Okay, here's each of their balance. All right. I am going to change the service type to delivery so that I can demonstrate how each of these individuals will be charged the delivery fee that I have set up in the background. Okay, so right up at the top, I'm going to change my service type from carryout to delivery, and my balance for each individual has changed. Okay. If I change that back, it should go back, and it has. Now, if I want to, let me just put it back to delivery. If I want to add another person to this ticket, let's do a calzone. And split it again, the total amount, the balance for each individual will change again. Okay? All right. Let's see if I hit send. Oh, I want to talk to you a little bit about taking the payment for each of these individuals. If they all say, we're all going to pay individually with our credit cards, that's fine. Okay. Let's say send, and let's do pick up with credit card. What it does is, I'm sorry, let me go back. All I did was I went into the quick payment button here, pay with credit card, because they're paying for it over the phone as they call in their order. So now I have it broken down individually. Actually, the charge amount that you see here is the grand total. I want to charge each individual credit card. So all I do is click on the person's name or, the check name. And then, of course, enter their credit card information. Then I could do person B. It changes the balance. Person C. Okay? When the order is delivered, there will be as many credit card receipts with tip line as taken, and then a note for total cash due for the driver. Okay? All right, now let's talk a little bit about delivery dispatch. we've created a few tickets with delivery that are service type delivery. So we're just going to touch base on that a little bit. I'm now concentrating on the right-hand side, the driver's button, about the 5th button down. Okay. What you see here is, I'll go through these columns. The column on the left, driver in, are the drivers that are currently available for delivery. The delivery information in the middle, the column in the middle, are your tickets that are awaiting driver dispatch. And of course, the column on the right are your drivers that are currently out on delivery. Okay? Hi, Kim. No, Vic from City Cafe is not on. He's not on the call. I hope you can hear you. Can you raise your hand to confirm that you can hear me? Great. Okay, thanks. No, I don't see him. You're the only one that's on. Okay? I'm just going to continue on. If you have any questions as I go, just, feel free to use the questions as you did in the questions area. I'm just going to keep moving. Thank you, by the way, for taking the time to join me today. I do appreciate it. Okay, we're talking about drivers. So let's see. I'm going to just concentrate a little bit on the delivery information. Okay, the tickets will turn colors as they get late. That's what you see here. Okay, it's internally late, not late to the customer's door. Okay, also the driver turns late. The driver will turn color because you can, set up the times as to when a ticket will be marked late. Okay, the ticket time and zones. The ticket time will start with the time received, and then change to the number of minutes late depending on your, on the presets. Okay, and you see how long these have been hanging out here. Let's see. I can touch the ticket number, which is right here on the left, to see what's on the check. Okay, and I can also, let's see. If I go into this Map All feature up at the top, it will show me a map of every delivery that's currently waiting dispatch. And also, I believe if you just touch the ticket number itself, it tells you exactly what you need to take, which is kind of a nice feature. Your drivers can do that in advance. All right, I'm going to exit out of here. And, okay, so now I'm going to assign these 2 tickets to Hannah Montana. Okay, what you see here is a driver reminder. I'm going to increase the increments as to how long I'm going to look at this by touching this countdown button up at the top right. It increases it by 10 seconds, I think. Okay, so it's a driver reminder. Okay, now I'm going to ignore MC Hammer, but I'm going to concentrate on Hannah Montana. That's the one that I assign these tickets to. I'm going to go into Hannah. Okay, and what you can do is you can send a text message to a driver. For example, hey, you forgot something, get back here quick. Map my route, of course, would be to get printable directions to the delivery routes that the driver has been assigned. And what I'm doing here is I'm just changing the sort order in which I want to map my route. Okay, I'm just actually clicking and dragging. Going to go into Get Directions, and this is the driver's delivery route. Okay. These directions, the step-by-step or the turn-by-turn directions, are printable. Okay. So you can print these out. It will print out in receipt size format. Okay. Let's see. I think you can also touch the ticket number here, again, to see what's on the check. Okay. Back from delivery, of course, would be when this driver comes back, they can mark themselves back from delivery so that they're available again for any other potential deliveries. Okay. I'm going to just assign these two to this person because I need to have somebody out. Okay. All right, now I'm going to concentrate. I'm now on the left side of the screen. So Hannah Montana. The drivers can view their driver report in anticipation of being checked out at the end of the day. Okay, so they'd enter their password. And here are their checks. So it lists their checks line by line, and it gives them a grand total minus the driver reimbursement, okay, equals a grand total or a subtotal. And then, of course, it reduces their drops, adds their banks, minus the credit cards, and so on. Okay, and they have the capability to print it out. All right. Okay. I'm now going to get out of this screen and concentrate a little bit on the checks button, which is the third button down on the right. Okay. This is used to recall checks for payment, for editing, and maybe to change service types. For example, if somebody calls in and says, they called in for a delivery and they call back a couple minutes later and say, oh, I'm going to come in and pick that up. You can change that in the checks area. Okay? So I'm going to go into checks. I probably have a number of tickets out here, which I do. Okay. So what you see here on the left-hand side are your various service types. Okay? When I click on each one of those, it shows me the tickets that were created under those service types. The ones that I've been doing on this demonstration have only been pickup and delivery. I don't think I've done any carryout or any of these others. Oh, I do have a table service one. Anyway, that's what it's doing. It's showing you the breakdown of each of these service types, or the tickets that were involved with that. The buttons down at the bottom here, these are searchable items. If you want to look at all your tickets, you hit the All button. You want to search by specific phone number. Whoops, my keyboard's not working. It'll give you anybody that has that phone number. Okay? And then if you have a specific check number to search for, you can do that as well. Okay? All right. Let me go back into checks. So when, just talking about the pickup type tickets, service types, I would go into checks. The pickup is the default up here on this screen. So this particular station is set up to start with the pickups. So, when the person comes in to pay out their ticket, you would come into checks and just click on the ticket, and you'll get to the payment screen. Okay, and I'm just going to do exact. Okay. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about the table service, which is the, second button from the bottom. It does require you to log in. Okay, I do have some tables already set up in here, just so you know. I mean, obviously you can, have different shapes and sizes of your tables. I have a couple sections set up in here, dining and main dining. The only difference is the placement of the tables, the shape, maybe, but most noticeably the table number. Okay? So I'll go back to, I'll stay here. So let's go into table 206. And it's asking me, or telling me, or forcing me actually, to choose the number of people at that table. So let's choose 3. Say OK. Takes me to the order screen. One thing that I want you to take notice of is the extra column that's on the ticket. It's an S, as in seat. So it'll tell you what seat number you're currently on or working with. Okay, so there's seat number 1. I'm going to go into the subs. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I do that, I want to change my seat number, which is the button here in the middle at the bottom. Seat 1, change to seat 2. Now I'll go into my subs and do a meatball sub. Okay, places person 2, and then seat number 3, chicken. Okay, and then when you go to pay it, it breaks out the tickets for you individually. You could pay the balance, or you could pay them out individually, or if person number 1 wants to pay for person number 3, that's fine. you would, of course, pay for person number 2 first, or person number 2 would be checked out first. And then you have a balance, which is, seat 1 and seat 3 combined. But I'm going to leave that open for the time being because I want to go back to the table area and talk about that a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of there, go back into tables, and okay, so let me go back into my section here. Okay, so this is the table we originally started to work with. What you see now is that I am responsible for this table. Okay, the green ones, of course, are the open tables. Anything that's pending a credit card would be red. Anything that another server is taking care of would be gray. And anything that would be transferred to me because the customer has decided to sit at their table for 3 hours and, my colleague needed to their shift is over, they can transfer that ticket to me and I would be responsible for it. But they would show up in this lime green. Okay, looking at table number 206, what you see here, I'm not sure if you can see it on your end, but what you see here is the amount of time that the ticket has been opened, the number of guests at the table, the time the ticket was opened, and of course the server name. Okay? Now when you close out that check, the ticket will become available again. Okay. Bar service. Let me just finish this. There's that so that table's available again. Okay. Bar service works similar to the table service. If I go into bar, you can set up a bar with stools. Okay. So stool number 1 is large pizza, let's say. And that's done. Okay, and then it shows that it's currently in use. Oh, I'll just ignore that. Okay. All right. Let me get out of here. And let's talk a little bit about the time clock. All right. So I'm going to go into time clock. I'm going to sign in. And I'm going to punch in as Hannah Montana. And what it should show me, good, okay. I have multiple jobs that are assigned to me. So one day I can be a driver. Another day I work phones. The employees have the capability to, choose the specific job that they're doing for that day. It does ask if you want to print a receipt. Okay, so now I'm clocked in. Okay. And if I go back into the time clock, I can now punch out. Again, gives me the option to print a receipt. Okay. That's time clock. Let's talk a little bit about the administrative part of the software, or the admin section. Okay. All right. I'm going to concentrate on the reports area in the middle here. Okay. Well, actually, before I do that, I want to show you the daily functions to the right. The end of day report is found back here, your Z report or your X report. Okay. You can make register adjustments, pay any pay-ins or payouts, and then any shortages or overages to your register. Okay. Kim, I'm not sure if you were the individual that asked me about house accounts at one time. I think you were. I'm going to just talk about that real quick. House accounts. Let me see if you can talk. Kim, can you speak?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay. I hear a little feedback, but that's okay. Did you ask me about house accounts one time?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm going to talk about that real quick. So I'm going to mute you because I'm getting a lot of feedback. Okay.
Okay, mute me. Thank you.
Okay. Sure. If you have any questions, just ask them just raise your hand and I can unmute you. Okay.
Will do. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. All right. Okay. So the first thing you need to do with house accounts is set up the customer status of house accounts. Okay. And to do that, let's see. I'm going to go into admin because I think that's where I can get, yes, okay, customer search. And I'm just going to look at everybody. Okay. Let's pick on this George Clinton. I don't know if I have him set up already. No, I don't. Okay. So here's a button that enables you to change the status to house account, because you have to have a customer associated to a house account payment when you do it, okay? So I just changed the status from no to yes. It did ask me for a manager password, all right? So now George Clinton is available. In fact, I had a demonstration this morning where somebody asked me this specific question. They said, I have a couple customers that, you know, make an order all week, and then at the end of the week, I give them a bill. And I'm like, perfect. So we have George Clinton set up, okay? Yes, I want to save my changes. So let's find him. I think I need to go into order now. Bear with me a second. I'll just do a couple things here. Yeah, I don't know his phone. I didn't even look up his phone number. That was dumb. Okay, let me see. I'll just do his name. Okay. 484-444-00. Okay. So now I'm going to take his order. Okay. And a grinder, you know, just a couple things. Yeah, let's do a salad. All right. So I'm going to pay, and it asks me, would you like to submit a payment of $21.22 to George Clinton's house account? Yes. Okay, so now that's out there, okay? At the end of the, you know, with the week, let's say, just using that example that that merchant asked me about this morning, I'm going to go into admin, and under admin, and again, I'm concentrating in the middle here, specifically under management functions, right here, here's a house accounts button, okay? So if I go in there, these are all the people that that are set up for house accounts. George Clinton is the one that I just created. And I think I have to select this, yes, to have my buttons down here available. So I can print a statement, I can delete it, or I can pay it. Now that merchant that I had this morning said, well, you know, I don't want to run their credit card for every, you know, individual check that I created for them. And I'm like, that's okay, you don't have to. Each check you can select, you know, you have this checkbox here, you can select each one, get a whole balance, and then run their credit card, and then close out those tickets. So, you know, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, or whatever that saying is. And he seemed to be very happy with that. So that's how house accounts work. I hope I've answered your question with what your house accounts were. I know it took me a little bit to get back to you. I do apologize for that. But if you, like I said, if you have anything else regarding house accounts, you know, feel free to use the questions area. Okay. Anyway, we're still back in the admin area. So now I'm going to talk about the reports up at the top. Okay, driver summary. This should look a little familiar. These are the drivers that are currently signed in today that have been doing deliveries. So it gives you their name, the number of deliveries that they've done for the day, the last delivery time, the total sales, their total banks, their total drops, what their credit card charges are, and of course, most importantly, their cash charge or their cash amount. All right. So if you click on each one of these, it lists their individual checks that they were responsible for, and then of course, this looks very familiar to what I showed you before in the driver dispatch area, except for these buttons are now available. In the driver dispatch area, of course, you know, they're not available for obvious reasons. But you know, you can edit their banks or add a bank. You can enter the drop. You can look at payment information, and you know, if there's any credit card information, you can just look at the credit card information or the credit card payments. Of course, I don't have any. This is where you would settle the driver, okay, and it does warn you if you have anything outstanding. Okay.
But if I get a burger, oh, it already comes with fries. Right?
Okay. Oops, let me see if I got another. There we go. You can print their report and match it, to theirs. It'll be the same though. You can print a tips report. You can enter the cash tip. Okay. And you have a calculator back here for your use if you need to use it. Okay. Also, it does. You can program the under their individual record, your employee record, the insurance expiration and the driver's license expiration. That's kind of a nice feature because insurance expires every 6 months. So I would think that was important in a with your drivers. Okay, that's driver summary. You have the same type of thing with server summary. I don't know that anybody would find that beneficial, but it is available. Let's see, customer search, I talked about that briefly. You can do a search for everybody in your customer database, or you have different search criteria over here on the left. Okay. Kim, your hand's up. Did you have a question?
Hi, yeah, on the other thing I was asking about was on reservations and being able to text when the table's available. Is that on this app?
No, that is not on this currently. I can check to see if that's something that's in the works. It might be, although I don't know the answer to that offhand. Let me check with my boss.
Is it available on the restaurant app?
That I don't know.
Okay.
Can you do me a favor and follow up with me can you send me an email with those questions regarding that? And
yeah.
then
What's your email, babe?
It's it's in the chat area of the webinar screen. Do you see it down there?
The chat area. I just see my questions.
Okay. Let me tell you what it is in. I'm going to mute you because I'm getting a lot of feedback. One
no
second.
problem.
Okay, it's KRA, B as in boy, EN as in Nancy, OLD as in dog, at harbortouch.com. Okay, yeah, I see your other questions now. Okay. The other was on reservations and texting when table available. How does that work? I don't think that works in this software. But again, if you follow up with me in an email, I can do the research and get back to you. Can you show age verification on this app? Boy, that's a good question. I don't think you can. Let me see. I'm going to go into the admin. I don't believe that you can do that, Kim. Do you mean for, let me ask you a question. Do you mean for the drivers, or do you mean like to check it when a customer walks in, like in a bar situation?
In a bar situation, or like even a liquor store, and this may not apply for this particular app, but like a liquor store, I get people asking me about age verification all the time. So when they swipe, the driver's license is supposed to like calculate their birth date, and green go, red don't go.
Right. Okay. That doesn't apply to this application.
Right.
I don't think it does that, but that would be on the Retail Advanced. Have you sat in on a Retail Advanced webinar yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay. That question is more geared towards, I'm going to mute you because I'm getting a lot of feedback. That question is geared more towards the advanced software. So as far as this software goes, I would say no, it doesn't. Okay? Especially for customers, like doing in a bar situation where they check for the ID. Okay, all right. Okay, let's get back here. Reports. Okay, reports. You have various reports. Okay. I can show you, I don't have a lot of data in here, but I can show you that depending on the report, you can change the date, the start and end date. Okay, I clicked on, or I'm using what is this? Sales by date report. Okay, so this one happens to give me the ability to change the date. So if I want to do like last week, let's say Monday, June 4th to Friday, June 8th, I can do that. I don't know. Oh, I do have data. Great. Okay. And also I can email this or set it up that this report can be emailed to me as the owner. Okay? All right. Let's see. What else? Let's talk a little bit about menu changes. I'm now on the left side of the screen under Config Tools. And actually, this is where you would add staff and set up permissions. Okay? So let me see if I can add staff. I'll talk about that first. Oh, I don't have that menu available to me. You need a super password for that, and I don't have that password. So I'm just going to edit one of these because I can talk about that at the same time. So what it does is it automatically creates an ID, an employee ID. That is not the password. That's something that you'll need to create, okay, for your individual employees. And then, of course, your first and last name, any other information you want to keep. Let's see, show pay rates would be if this person has, multiple jobs. If they do multiple jobs, you can set that up for them. More info button is, if it's a driver, you can set up their SMS phone numbers to send text messages. Okay? Now, these other buttons aren't available to me, probably because I don't have the Add Employee button. I'm in the Edit screen. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go to Main Info. Okay? And the access levels. Oh, you know what? Typically, when you're adding an employee, you have a drop-down arrow here so that you can assign the appropriate access level to them. And there's a number of them. I'll show you those in just a minute. But you can choose the access level. Okay? So I would suggest that you set up your permissions first and then come in and set up your employee so that the access level is available. Okay, so that is creating an employee or adding an employee to your employee list. Now we'll go under permissions. Oh, look at that. I need to have admin access. So let me see if I can do that real quick. Excuse me. Okay. Yep. Here we go. All right, let me go back into staff and just mention what I was talking about with the access level. So now I have that drop-down arrow, and I have various access level groups that are available. Okay? And those are created under permissions. Okay? These are the permission group names. I created the dishwasher one, the junior server. I don't know if the junior server was showing on the other screen. But anyway, to add a new group, you would enter the group name. And then, of course, the description. And then you would save it. And then it takes you to the permission area so that you can choose one by one what permissions you want this particular group to have. And then you would assign this group to the individual staff members. Of course, a red X means they don't have access. Green check mark means they do. Okay? All right. So that's available to you. Okay, I'm going to exit out of here. And I want to now go into the menu area because that's where you can make your changes to the menu itself. Okay. All right. Let me get rid of this. So if you need to change the price on any of your menu items, this should look familiar. It's similar to what we saw on the order screen, except it's now moved from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen and is showing me each individual menu item in a spreadsheet format over on the left. Okay. So I know which category I'm on because the yellow outline is apparent. Okay? So let's change the price of my small calzones. All I did was went to my category, clicked on the button, brings me the edit screen to this, and change my price. Let's say $9.99. And that's it. My calzone price is now changed. Okay. When I go back onto the order screen or back out to the order screen, you'll see that as well. Okay, I want to show you how to add a menu item. So I'm going to go over here to Menu Editing, New Menu Item, and let's say we're going to add a cheesesteak calzone. I don't know. I can't think of anything else. Okay, and this screen should look familiar. If I add any toppings to it, of course, I want to be able to indicate what chain it is. Okay, let's just use pizza topping for now. Group, we need to put it in a group. It is not a modifier. It is a individual menu item. So I'm going to put it in the group or screen category of calzone. Looks like I have my group name as pizza/calzone. I want to give it a price level, and I can change the tax if I need to. Pricing method, yeah, I don't have that information. Let's see here. The price itself is what I want to concentrate on. Okay, let's say the price is $12.99. I know that's really expensive for a cheese calzone. Anyway, that's the end of it. That's how you create a menu button. So I close that out, and then anything that's in green is not currently on my menu anywhere. So as you see, the cheesesteak calzone is listed here, so I'm just going to click and drag from the left to the right. Okay, and I can change my color if I'd like. I think it's this one. Oh. Okay. Anyway, you get the general idea. You can change the colors. And now, when I go back to my order screen, I'm going to be able to see the new button that I created. It's under calzone. There it is. Okay. Okay. That is pretty much delivery.